who is able to be in charge without using force. Someone who has always been frightening yet never uses force. It's the empaths from Sigma. Here are 8 dangerously dominating traits of a Sigma empath. 8. Making the most of their keen awareness of emotions. The empathy of Sigma empaths can occasionally act as a mask, hiding their genuine intentions. This Sigma hat's hazardous dominance comes from their ability to blend in with societal institutions while surreptitiously manipulating events to suit their agendas, all while skillfully navigating the emotional terrain to attain domination. They maneuver themselves like pawns on an emotional chessboard, influencing and manipulating others while leaving a trail of gullible people in their wake. The control exercised by Sigma empaths is subtle, woven into the fabric of interpersonal relationships, as opposed to overt shows of power. They take advantage of the weaknesses they find and use them as leverage to get what they want. The empathetic comprehension meant for empathy is twisted into a crafty tool of control, keeping others in the dark about the emotional sleight of hand being employed. 7. Actively expelling their psychic energy on anyone in their vicinity. Sigma empaths drain the psychic energy of others like a stealthy predator, leaving a path of depleted emotions in their wake. This deadly domination takes the form of a covert dance, in which the Sigma empath uses their empathic powers for sustenance rather than connection. The Sigma empath uses the deliberate draining of psychic energy as a kind of empowerment, feeding off the emotional life force of others to increase their own vitality and strength. The Sigma empath's power transcends emotions in this theoretical story and reaches the metaphysical realm. Draining mental energy is not just a result of empathy, rather, it is a purposeful act, a deliberate decision to use the emotional energies of others around them for one's own advantage. The Sigma empath's control becomes a silent force as they feed on the psychic energies they siphon, leaving others oblivious to the subtle vampiric exchange taking place in the interaction of emotions. Do you use your psychic energy to weaken or expose other people as well? 6. Using their habits to influence other people. Their astute grasp of human nature allows them to shrewdly modify and display actions that progressively seep into society. These behaviors spread like wildfire, slowly influencing the decisions and deeds of those in their immediate vicinity. The power of Sigma empaths to gently shape a group's collective behavior rests in their ability to pass off habits as harmless individual choices. They unintentionally cause others to imitate their actions. It's a subtle kind of control where the lifestyle decisions made by the Sigma empaths become an example for others around them, creating a group identity that reflects their own tastes. The patterns and rituals that permeate the social group, from preferences and leisure activities to food choices, reveal this harmful dominance. Instead of setting clear trends, the Sigma empath creates a web of ingrained behaviors that others follow without thinking twice. The Sigma empath's domination spreads from the individual to the collective as their influence grows. Under the subtle direction of shared habits, the group starts to synchronize with the empath's preferences, creating a sense of unity and cohesion. 5. Deciding to sympathize with only sincere people. The risky domination of Sigma empaths is not due to their indiscriminate empathy, but rather to their deliberate decision to place all of their emotional capital in people they believe to be sincere. By associating with real people, selective empathy turns into a potent instrument for exerting influence and control. The dominance of the Sigma empaths is revealed as they move through social environments, allying with people they think are reliable and brushing off people they think are dishonest. This methodical approach to empathy is not a sign of weakness, but rather a purposeful tactic that enables the Sigma empath to create relationships that further their own goals while keeping their emotional distance from any dangers. The Sigma empath becomes a curator of real connections, distinguished by an emotional exclusivity that befits such deadly dominance. They only feel empathy for people they believe to be genuine, which strengthens their inner sphere of trust and increases their influence in social circles. Others who aren't aware of this selective empathy might be accepted or rejected according to the astute assessment of the Sigma empaths. 4. Playing with the social structures. This hypothetical Sigma empath becomes a puppeteer of society interactions, manipulating a complex dance of relationships to suit their needs, in contrast to traditional empaths who nurture connections. Their sophisticated manipulation of connections, alliances, and hierarchies is what gives them the upper hand rather than their overt demonstrations of authority. They can manipulate social dynamics to suit their own purpose by using this deliberate method. As the Sigma empaths blend in with different social circles and secretly steer group interactions in their favor, their deadly dominance becomes apparent. They weave destinies, so to speak, by deftly adjusting the paths of power dynamics and connections to suit their agenda. Sigma empaths are known for their command of social structures, which includes their capacity to recognize influential individuals, take advantage of weaknesses, and form tactical alliances. They play with the collective psyche, creating a milieu in which their own power is concealed beneath the complex web of human relationships. 3. Kindly intimidating other people. Imagine a situation where a Sigma empath, aware of human weakness, carefully uses kindness as a tactic of influence. Rather than using overt threats, their hazardous control consists of subtly luring others in with an overwhelming show of compassion and empathy. This kindness is a skillfully constructed tool intended to elicit conformity and control rather than a real expression of compassion. As they move through social environments, the Sigma empath's hazardous influence becomes apparent. They achieve this by fostering a culture of dependency and debt through their apparently limitless benevolence. Others who are drawn to the empath's kindness could unintentionally become entangled in a web of duty and allegiance. Sigma empaths are known for their frightening compassion, which is typified by their capacity to influence people's views and make those who gain from their giving feel obligated to repay them. Subtle coercion lurks beneath the superficial attractiveness of the Sigma empath, generating a power dynamic in which the empath turns into a kind puppet master who manipulates without using force. 2. Penetrating people's most private thoughts. The hazardous dominance of Sigma empaths stems not from overt behavior, but rather from their quiet infiltration of people's deepest wants and innermost thoughts. This covert investigation of mental landscapes turns into a psychological domination tactic, an expert manipulation of data to mold stories and conclusions. Sigma empaths are known for their skill at penetrating people's thoughts and their capacity to reveal motivations, secrets, and vulnerabilities that lie deep within people. They grow skilled at using this information, deftly influencing choices and bending perceptions thanks to their sophisticated comprehension of the complex network of ideas that mold people. The Sigma empath's lethal supremacy emerges as a symphony of deliberate influence, as they delve into the dark corners of other people's brains. To influence events in their favor, they can sow seeds of ideas, take advantage of fears, or divulge facts only when it suits them. The Sigma empaths are able to manipulate events subtly and without using force because of their capacity to navigate the complex mental landscapes of others. 1. Bringing up their fears with others. Picture a moment where the Sigma empath, knowing human weakness like the back of his hand, deftly uses hints of other people's fears. Their skillful use of psychological manipulation, rather than physical might or authoritative directives, is the source of their hazardous dominance. They create a subdued environment of coercion by skillfully manipulating the fragile fabric of others' self-perception. The capacity of Sigma empaths to deftly incite and take advantage of the fears of people in their zone of influence is what defines their mastery of influence. Their deliberate use of language, subtle nonverbal cues, or purposeful omissions all contribute to the atmosphere that makes others feel open and vulnerable. The Sigma empath's dangerous supremacy emerges in the shadows of psychological manipulation as they remind others of their fears. The empath becomes a puppeteer, deftly manipulating people's emotions to get them to comply. How else do you remind people of their fears as a Sigma empath? Though they might not be conscious of it, Sigma empaths are naturally dominant, which makes them less able to stand up for what they believe in and persuade others with their unorthodox viewpoints. Do you recognize your power? How can you master social relations so effortlessly?